Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blind Squirrel Talk, famous in a small town. I'm Lulu.
I'm Kim.
I'm Evan.
Woohoo!
Yay! I was fortunate enough to meet Evan at Doc's Coffee Shop, which, by the way, if you haven't been, you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But Evan just inspired me to be a better person. I was just so tickled with you. You love what you do. You're a father, a husband, and you're a youth minister.
Used to be.
Used to be.
Used to be, yeah. So I'm a dad. I've got... I will be married now for 7 years in just about a week. I've got 3 kids. We've got a 5-year-old, a almost 4-year-old, and a 6-month-old. So
You've
it's
had
chaos.
no sleep in 6 years.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I went to college to get into ministry and studied Christian studies.
Where'd you go?
I went to Truett McConnell, so up in Cleveland, Georgia.
Beautiful.
Really nice area. Loved the school. Had a great experience there. That turned into I got a job at a church in Gainesville. Worked there for a little over a year, and from there, just kind of life just flipped out of nowhere. Ended up falling into a spot of working with my father-in-law, which is where I work now, and we live in Maysville now. So
Tell us what exactly you do for your father-in-law.
yeah, so in our world, we call it steel detailing. We don't really tell most people detailing because if they hear detailing, they think we can wash their cars.
That is the first thing that you think of.
Yeah, so technically what I am is a draftsman, and we do drawings for steel fabricators and then for their guys to put up steel on site and everything. So especially in our area, there's so many warehouses and everything.
Yeah.
There's at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 that I know within about a 10-mile radius of us that we've drawn.
Wow.
A few that I did on my own. Just a cool job. We've got some great customers we work with. They make the job more fun. They're easy to work with. So it's a cool industry, though. It's something I never knew about. I knew,
Me either.
I know.
Until I met you.
I know. I knew my father-in-law did it, but I didn't know what it was for at least, I don't know, the first 4 or 5 years that I really knew him. I didn't really know much about it, and then it wasn't until 5 years ago that I started working for him. So it was kind of crazy because I grew up my whole life thinking I was going to go into ministry. I did it for just over a year, full time, and then God moved a lot of things in my life. Things just kind of flipped upside down and landed there. And
That's a big change from ministry to metal.
Yes.
yeah, it was really weird going from okay, I've done this my whole life, I've heard about this my whole life, I know something about it and trained in it through college, and then all right, you're gonna learn something totally new.
Yeah.
So it really is. It's a great job. I've enjoyed it. I've gotten to move around, being roles of where the guys who actually do the drawings versus the guys who check, and then even now more into like project managing all of our stuff within our company and everything. So it's been a good job. I've told some other people it's interesting. When I was getting my Christian studies degree in college, I had to learn Greek and Hebrew.
Oh.
And thankfully, I only did 1 semester of Hebrew because that was really hard. But then even Greek was extremely hard. I was not that great at it at all. It was really hard to learn those new languages, especially languages that like aren't even spoken anymore.
Right.
It's Greek to me.
Yeah, and I always tell people it's Greek to me too. I still don't know. But when I started working with my father-in-law, one of the greatest just kind of eye-opening pieces of advice that he gave me was like, just look at this as learning a new language. He's like, you're going to learn like 6 or something different languages because we deal with our customer, who's usually a steel fabricator. And then we deal with the general contractors, architects, engineers, mainly the engineer, but architects too.
That's a lot of personalities to deal with.
Yeah, and then you've got guys who work in the shops, and they're their own guys. You just need to tell them they're going to cut 1,343 of these pieces, and and then you've got guys in the field that they've got steel flying in over their head, and you got to be able to speak their language and tell them where to put it and how to put it together. So it's a cool industry. I've enjoyed it. I love math, which is rare, I guess, but I loved math growing up. I love knowing how things work. So when I walk into Walmart, the first thing I do is I look up and I look at how the roof is put together and everything. So it's a cool job. I've gotten to learn how a lot of those things work, and it's interesting. I've done it for 5 years now. I've never been on site, never walked into a shop. but I've just learned most of it on my own, and then of course with our team and my father-in-law teaching me a lot. But baptism by fire, that's what we call it.
Yeah.
It's a tough industry because just like anything in construction, there's never time to train, but you got to get started. So
Yeah, you just jump right in.
jumped right in.
Well, the first time I had the opportunity to talk with you, when you came in with he came in with his computer, he's doing meetings and what have you. He just said, "Hey, take a look at what I do." I found that so refreshing, and it reminded me a little bit of my grandson who loves Legos. You were telling me how the little pieces fit, and and I thought, oh my God, this kid loves his job. And how fortunate for you.
It was funny because that was Friday, and on Saturday, we have another guy that we're talking to about maybe working with us and stuff, and I was explaining it to him that if you love Legos, you love this. Like, it's the same thing. If you love to take the simple Lego instructions, put it all together, and get that finished product, that's exactly what you do.
So did he say, I'll hire me? I'll take it.
I think he enjoyed it.
Pick me.
I ended up showing him what we do for like an hour. So I think he enjoyed it. He understood it way better than I think most people do, just kind of off the cuff there, on the fly learning it. But it's a cool industry. We deal with 3D models, and we deal with AutoCAD, different kinds of 2D CAD drawings and stuff. So it's really cool.
The drawings, like you see it from up here, and then you're under it and look at it.
yeah.
It's so cool.
It is very cool. Yeah, so you start off, you receive drawings from the architect and engineer, and then we translate all that into how we're going to put things into a 3D model. And we start off by just putting in lines that we can work off of. We start putting in columns, beams, and eventually you've got a full building that's a bunch of 40-foot plus columns. I mean, it could be anything. We've done buildings as big as 2 million square foot warehouses.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so like we're doing an industrial warehouse right now that's not quite that many square feet, but it's got thousands of tons of steel that are going on site, and we've done things as little as just some guardrails. Somebody's renovating an existing building. They just need some new rails put in on their wall per code or whatever it is. It could be anything that small. So it's a cool industry.
Do you actually get to follow the project from start to finish, or like what's your role? And so there's going to be a big warehouse built. Are you there from the beginning to the end, or you just?
Well, we're mostly just on the front end.
Okay.
So it's there's a couple layers of our process. It starts off, we receive a job, we bid on a job, and if we're awarded the bid, then we start producing drawings. Most buildings that we do, there's 4 categories to it. There's anchor bolts, embeds, structural, and miscellaneous. And so best way to put it is anchor bolts is the way we connect to the ground, to the footings and the foundations of the building. The embeds is steel that we put it's embedded into like concrete walls, because a lot of our construction is tilt-up construction where you see the big concrete walls that they put up and all that kind of stuff.
Which is so crazy to me.
It's insane. Yeah. It's like 50-foot by 25-foot slabs.
What do they weigh? Tons and tons, I guess.
I have no idea, but they're a lot. It's a lot of concrete. So they lift those up, and we'll have embeds that they set in that concrete. The structural is the main structure of the building, so that's all your big columns and beams and braces and all kinds of other stuff. And then miscellaneous is all the random things. If you go to any warehouse around here, miscellaneous is things like the stairs that go to the truck dock outside, rails that go up the truck ramp so nobody falls off that 4-foot drop. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. So pretty much what we do is we schedule that out. We have to get the first couple sets of drawings done quick, and we've got a little time for structural, a few weeks or so to kind of get that rolling. And then we send those out to be approved by the general contractor, architect, and the engineer. They all 3 go through our drawings. They approve our drawings. They answer any questions we find, because really what we're doing is we're taking their drawings and we're translating it for the steel fabricator. And so we deal with the details. That's why it's called steel detailing. We will find like the little things here and there that, like, either the engineer did something he didn't realize there's kind of a contradiction there, or either he gave us like some of the design and what we need to do, but we've got to verify that we get the right weld on here and all that kind of stuff. So it's
fascinating, really.
Yeah,
it gets very deep and complicated. Yeah, I tell a lot of guys that it's a job that you can't really be 99% accurate on. You kind of have to be 100% all the time.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So thankfully, there's a lot of checks and balances to make sure you don't miss things. You have checkers that come behind you. You go through the approval process. And so those drawings, we'll send them out. They'll come back from approval. We'll do a final cleanup, and then we send them to our customer, usually that steel fabricator, and then they start cutting. So we send them drawings. They get CNC files from us that pull out of our model that we use, and then they just go pop that on like a thumb drive into their CNC machine, hit go, and it starts cutting 40-foot long columns and beams and
Now, is most of that done in Georgia? When the steel cutting?
Yeah, so there's different steel mills around the country where fabricators get all their steel from, but one of our main customers is in the Covington, Georgia area.
Okay.
But I mean, we've done work for most of our customers in the Southeast. We've done some in Connecticut,
Wow.
and kind of just scattered throughout. I think we've have a fabricator somewhere out in Las Vegas, I think, or something at one point that we did a job for. So if anyone knows your name and wants to give you a shot to bid on the job, you could get a job just about anywhere. So, and I work from home, so that's the crazy part about it too.
Just roll out
So
of
do
bed and you're
you
at work.
have an office where you can get away from the kids and the chaos of that?
Yeah, half of my bedroom. So I literally do
It's
most
called the
mornings.
kitchen.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I've enjoyed about the job is I've learned to take advantage of the opportunity I've been given, and so I try to get out of bed and just pretty much go straight to work.
Yeah.
Now my kids are little, so they wake up before me. They come and wake me up most mornings. And there's still plenty of mornings I'm working before they ever get up and come in there. But there's plenty of days too that they come in and they're rolling around, kicking me and mom and trying to get us to wake up. So
Yeah.
I normally get up and I'll start work anywhere as early as 5 a.m. Sometimes maybe not till later in the morning, and go till. I mean, I work whenever. I think the longest day I've worked is 16 hours, a little over 16 hours before.
Goodness.
Wow.
And then some days I've worked as short as, I mean, like 4 or 6, depending on if I had something else going on. So
Yeah.
the biggest thing for us is just getting the job done.
Right.
And sometimes that does require you to work more. Sometimes you don't have to work as much. So it just kind of depends on the day and the week, what's going on, and all that kind of stuff. So.
And sometimes you have to go to Doc's coffee shop so you can get work done.
Yep. Sometimes you need to go to the coffee shop and enjoy a nice fresh coffee and see some people and faces after being in your house all week long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great place to go for sure.
Another fun fact you told me when we chatted was that you're a Disney lover.
I am.
Oh, okay.
It's a good thing I've got the job I have. It supports
Yeah.
it supports an addiction that my family has gotten into.
That's a huge, addiction.
Yeah. So I actually never went growing up. First time I ever went to Disney World with my parents was a month ago. What happened is, let's see, it was Christmas 2024, so going into 2025, we got a crazy gift from my in-laws to get the annual passes to go to Disney World.
No.
So we had already.
You got an annual pass?
Passes.
So
Wow.
that whole year, my whole family, we could go any day, 365 days of that year, we could go for 2025, and we just walk up to the park and go in the park.
How many times did you go?
5. So, which was still a lot. We had one full week that was planned in the beginning of January. We had a fun weekend trip where just my wife and I went, and the grandparents watched the kids.
Nice.
They flip-flopped. And so we went for a long weekend, had like 2 whole days down there. 1 day down, 2 days there, 1 day driving back. And then we went back down in April and did another like long weekend with the kids. And honestly, we call that one of our favorite trips. It was only 2 days, again, of like really being in the parks. And that was one of the coolest trips because it was just so flexible. We did whatever we wanted. With having the pass, you're not worried about like doing every little thing.
Right.
You're like, okay, we can come back, or we've already come and done certain things. And so it was a lot of fun. We did that in April, and then we went back in September, I think it was. I think it was a week after Labor Day weekend. We went back for a whole week, and we went with my in-laws. After that, we did our first full week trip, just us, and we went the week of Thanksgiving.
And all the Christmas decorations were up.
It was awesome. We walked into our resort one afternoon, and there was no Christmas decorations. The next morning, we went in the lobby, and the tree was up. All the decorations were around.
Overnight.
It was awesome. It was like,
The kids love
it's like
that.
Mickey showed up and just got it done, So it was awesome. It was so much fun. Kids had a blast. We had so much fun on that trip. It was so ironic too. We all were sick at one point, and we felt terrible, but we still tried to keep going. We still had fun. My wife was like 8 months pregnant at that point, so it was like our last hurrah. So we were just pushing through, but it was a lot of fun. And then thankfully we've been able to go back. We went back just a month ago with my parents, and that was an awesome trip.
Nice.
We drug them through it, but I will say June in Orlando, not fun.
Yeah. Too hot.
Too hot.
Too
Humid.
hot.
Way too hot.
Yeah. Oh my
But-
gosh.
We had a great time. It was an awesome trip. We packed everything we could into the kind of a little bit of a shorter week. So, but it was a ton of fun.
What I enjoy most about you, and I told Lulu probably several times, you are so uplifting, and you're obviously so grateful. It oozes out of you, and that is such a wonderful trait. I mean, you just don't see that enough.
It was learned the hard way, but it really was. I mean, the whole leaving the church that I was at and everything, and then getting into detailing was not on my radar. It was a wild experience. My life, especially over the past 5 years, there's a lot of my in-laws being a part of it, and my father-in-law just being such a great, honestly, there's no better word than disciple maker, just how he kind of poured into my life and helped.
He is a nice guy, isn't
Yes.
He's so smart.
he? Yeah.
It
And
gets on my
so
nerves
giving.
sometimes. He's so smart. He's so smart. But I mean, he's like the greatest person I've ever known. I mean, there's not many people in this world that mean more to me than him. I guess really the biggest thing is that my father-in-law has been one of the biggest players in my life over the past 5 years, 6 years. Obviously before that, I've known him for 10 years, I guess now, right at 10 years. But he's always been a big influencer. When I was in college, he would just kind of ask me questions about school and things going on, and he would ask me some harder questions that not even my professors could ask me. It didn't help that he was working on a doctorate at the time in Christian studies and theology, but he would challenge me in those ways. And then when I went through leaving my job, I left under somebody else's circumstances. It wasn't really my decision. I had no plan of where I was going. And really the greatest lesson I learned, you were talking about just kind of learning like gratefulness and being thankful for the things you go through. I mean, I just got thrown into this wilderness of what is my life going to come to? Like, what matters for me? What is the most important thing? And that's one of the things me and my wife, we decided when we kind of went through all these circumstances with the church and leaving the church was, number one thing was family.
Yeah.
There was nothing else that mattered. So that made the decisions for us as we went forward. It made me grow up. The things that I've learned coming through that time, I may have
You've
randomly mentioned
touched on-
something like this the other day, but I knew, I love what Paul says, and I think it's Philippians. He says that I know what it's like to have a lot and I know what it's like to have little. I've experienced that in my life already, which is kind of crazy to think that I'm not even 30.
Your age, yeah.
I've had so many people tell me, they're like, you've learned lessons that most people don't learn until they're in their 40s or
Yeah.
50s and stuff. And, and that's one of the greatest, I think, just natural abilities God gave me was just to learn from other people, was just to have open eyes, try to be teachable, coachable, being willing to listen to other people when they talk. My parents might say that I didn't do that well with them growing up.
Oh, I bet they wouldn't.
But that's been one of the greatest things is just learning lessons through life. And obviously I'm still learning a lot, but I learned what it was like to not have much. I had, I don't know, every 2 weeks I had like $25 maybe a week to spend. And we had a baby on the way. We lived in an apartment in Gainesville. I mean, we literally didn't have much to do. You're talking about it also being 2021, so inflation was terrible.
Still is.
I work for a church. If you know anything about that, you generally aren't making too much money, and God still provided for us. We were never late on rent or anything like that. We had great support with family, and then going through that whole transition into where I am now, it really was God putting me in the wilderness. Little did I know it was the wilderness of Maysville. Live in the middle of nowhere in the woods, but And we started off by living in campers when we built houses. So, I mean, it really was wilderness.
With kids.
Oh, yeah. We brought home my first daughter. She came home, 2 weeks after we moved into a camper. And so we were in the camper for 15 months.
Wow.
We went.
And you had did the second one come to the camper?
Yeah,
too?
so he was born 1 week before we moved out of the camper.
Wow.
Small space in the
Yeah.
It was
camper.
a really small space. Very small space. But it was such an adventure. Some of my favorite memories of my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't think I would trade anything for it. It was a wild experience.
You still have the camper?
No, we did get rid of it. We sold it.
Well, how did you do laundry? At a laundromat, or did you have a washer dryer out there? I'm just curious.
Well, we didn't have anything in the campers, obviously. We didn't have any like combo units or anything like that. But if I went and saw my parents, if we went to go see my parents, we took all of our stuff.
Like to visit today.
Yeah, we normally went to family. I mean, it was.
That's so cool.
We
though.
normally went to family and did laundry, and then thankfully, eventually, the house, my in-laws' house, they built their house first. We moved into their house with them for about a year. So I mean, that whole adventure to the point of moving into our house was like over 2 years, like 2.5 years. But it was wild. I have some crazy memories. We didn't have power ran down to our campsite until like 3 or 4 months after we've already been out there. So we ran generators
Wow.
through the
With
summer.
the baby.
Yeah, with a baby. Yeah, my morning routine, because we work from home, we had like a third camper for our offices between me and my father-in-law. And so I would wake up in the morning, I'd cut the generator off after running all night long. I would fill it up with gas, let it sit for about an hour. I'd go inside. I already had the water heater turned on so I could take a shower. I'd take a quick shower, I'd eat my breakfast, and then I'd come back out about an hour later and I'd cut it back on. I'd switch the cables over and I'd go in the other camper and work for the whole day. And when I got off work, I did the opposite.
Wow.
Yeah, we ate at like Culver's and all these other fast food places so much. We're like, we just need to go get real air conditioning and a break from the generators. But hey, we had an all-natural sound machine, so we slept great out in the woods. It was such an adventure, though.
Yeah,
So
that
much fun.
sounds fun.
It sounds like your whole life has been an adventure. This is awesome.
Well, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have said I was the most adventurous person up to that point, but that alone was just. We were a little crazy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We just kind of jumped. I mean, it was
Yeah.
there's so many funny stories. First night we got there, my father-in-law couldn't find the keys to the generators. And we're like, well, this is great. Don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, we found an abandoned campsite on our property, and we're like, this is sketchy
Scary,
and really
yeah.
weird. It's been an adventure for sure.
Yeah.
Been lifted up on the bucket of a tractor, cutting limbs down and stuff. I mean, I've rolled tires off a tractor on accident. We've had a whole bunch of random stuff. Yeah, a lot of things revolve around that tractor. It broke down a couple times. That's normally what it is. But it's been so much fun. Like, we've really been on a great adventure just so far with our family. And I think part of the whole Disney stuff kind of coming up over the past couple of years is kind of like the next chapter,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah.
So it's been a great time. We love Maysville. We've grown to this has kind of become our place now. I have no intentions of going anywhere.
Aw.
My in-laws opened up Doc's Coffee Shop, so I mean we're stuck now, but we love it. I mean it's so cool. The relationships that
Yes.
we've made. I mean
Right.
just getting to know you really just on Friday. I mean I've seen you in the coffee shop
Yeah.
a few times maybe before that.
I'm a good listener, though. I think that's what it was. You were attracted to my listening
You asked
skills.
the right question and I talked. And I took over this podcast basically.
I love it. We love it. And we're
No,
getting to know you.
Yeah. You asked me the right questions. I'll keep talking. You're going to have to cut me off.
And you're married to a beautiful
Yes.
woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
She's awesome.
Yeah, and she's
She's-
quite the baker.
Yes, she's quite the baker.
Yes.
So she makes not all, but most of the pastries and stuff at Doc's Coffee Shop.
Yeah.
Doc's Coffee House.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Correct that.
Coffee house. Okay.
My father-in-law will slap me if I say that wrong. She bakes, so like her special thing is all the muffins and all that kinds of stuff. And then on Saturdays, the specialty for the day is cinnamon rolls. And so I go there on Saturdays and pay so I can have a cinnamon roll because she don't make them for me. But no, she's awesome. I mean,
she
she's
is.
doing this while balancing,
Kids.
a 5-year-old little girl who is just so awesome, but
Yes.
she's full of energy, and she's got just kind of this extra kick behind her like I do. And you got my son who, he's a 3-year-old boy,
Say no
jumping
more.
on the couch, throwing things across the house. And then our 6-month-old who, God forbid you sit her down for 2 seconds, she gets upset. She always wants to be on mama. She loves mama to death. And so she's just found a way to do all of it. She's like super woman over here doing all this stuff. I just go sit in a room and work all day. She deals with everything else pretty much throughout the day in the house and all that kinds of stuff. So
Well, those Wassendorf women, they're pretty
Yes, they are.
yeah,
powerhouses.
they're built different.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, she learned some great traits from her mom, and I've learned some great things from Ricky too in the time that I've known them and just being so close to them, living out on the land. Just kind of what hard work looks like.
Yeah.
Good work ethic. Not that I didn't learn these things already, especially from my own family. A lot of things I went through with the church is actually kind of an echo of what my dad went through when I was a kid. And so I kind of I've taken all the things that I learned from my parents growing up to now being close, which my parents are close, they're in Nicholson, but being so close to my in-laws, learning from them. And, one of the greatest lessons I've learned is, if there's the ability to be around family as much as possible, there's nothing greater than it.
Yeah.
And so, Missy, my mother-in-law, when she decided a long time ago that she wanted to stay home, and they decided that whatever it took, they were going to stay at home. She was going to stay home and take care of the kids. And my father-in-law was not far after that. Like, I want to stay home. So if I can find a way to do it, I want to do it too. And so, she cut coupons and things and all that stuff. And God blessed their hard work and their stewardship of what they had, and got to the point now that my father-in-law is running his own company. We've got all these different guys and people working with us, jobs that we're doing all around the U.S., especially the Southeast, and now they've had the opportunity to open up the coffee shop. I will say this because I've heard my father-in-law say it to other people. They have no business opening a coffee shop. They didn't know anything about coffee. They love it, but they didn't know a ton about it. But they love doing it just for the sake of meeting people and just being able to know more people in the area. And it's been awesome. I mean, I walk up and he's like telling people, hey, and I'm like, I've never seen these people in my life. Like, he already knows them from just
he
hanging
could
out.
make friends with a brick wall, I think.
Yeah, so I've learned a lot of good lessons. And, one of those was really staying close to family. And so when I, kind of fell into this job with him, I learned real quick, I want to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
I want to be close to my family, and living in the camper, starting
You can't
off.
get much closer than that.
No, couldn't get
kids
close. Couldn't get any closer. I was doing okay, but we weren't making any crazy amounts of money or anything like that. I was still very new in my job. I guess I'd been working this job for, oh gosh, it wasn't even that long. It was like a month, maybe, when we moved in, maybe 2 months. And so, I'm still fresh into this. I'm not making hardly anything because I'm just basically training. And we just kind of pushed through it. We decided we wanted my wife to be able to stay at home, just like her parents did. And we're like, we'll do whatever it takes. And so
And you did.
we did. And kind of on the other side of that now, we've just been able to see the blessings come over the past 5 years. So
Aww.
It's been a whirlwind for sure, but it's been a lot of fun. And I wouldn't trade anything for it. Whether it's now, the times we have, or the time we had 5 years ago, it's all been great. Thankful for every bit of it. And I would stay in any of those spots the rest of my life. It'd be a little weird staying in the camper the rest of my life. Just because now I've got too many kids to try to fit in that one camper. But I could do it. And I don't want to forget either, there are people who go through that stuff. And, some of those people have more joy than the rest of us
Right.
who've got everything, So that's kind of the perspective I have, is it doesn't matter where I am. I'm going to enjoy where I am. I'm going to be thankful for where I am. So, yeah, it's just been a kind of the theme that I've learned over the past 5 years, I guess.
And I'm glad you're here in Maysville.
Yeah.
I know.
Because
I love
Maysville really is a beautiful town with great people, and everybody just wants to see Maysville
Be better.
be better.
I know.
Yeah.
Great connections
Yeah.
have been made for us so far. Whether it's meeting people at the concert, the different markets and stuff we do in town, just meeting people at the park, whatever it is. I've loved it. It's been a lot of fun. Now we got the coffee shop.
Coffee house.
You had to correct
I don't
me.
want to get in trouble.
I was going to just blow right
I
past
don't want you to
that,
get in
okay?
trouble.
No, the coffee house as an added kind of another central hub.
That's what it is.
It
People come in
is
there
the
and
central hub. It
just,
is the hub of
you know.
Maysville. It really is.
Yeah.
I would definitely give credit to El Paso because I love their food too.
Oh, yeah.
I love El Paso, which we found out when we walked in there the first time that it's the same people who had
Yes.
a restaurant in Decula where we
Yes.
were from.
Yes.
Yes.
And they knew Ricky and Missy by name when we walked in.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is wild. But how the heck did we all end up here in Maysville, you know? But we've loved it. It's a great town. It's so fun just, you know, even just coming here. I was like, I'm just going to hop in my truck, drive to town real quick,
Go
be
do
there
a
in a few
podcast.
minutes,
Yeah.
go do a little podcast. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, we appreciate you coming in today. And,
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now I know what
What I was talking about.
Yeah, metal polishing is
Yeah, what is that?
when you get your car detailed.
Okay.
Okay, I listened.
It is funny. There is a very famous, I say famous, I mean a well-known car detailing company, the same exact company name as ours.
What?
I'm like, that's just so
Really?
unfortunate.
Yes, it is for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but thank y'all for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you many more times at
Yes.
the coffee house.
Yeah,
Getting a couple cinnamon rolls and a coffee.
there you go.
Yep.
You heard it right here. Go to Doc's Coffee House. Get those cinnamon buns on Saturdays only, right?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, there's muffins the rest of the week, and
they're
those
good. They're
huge.
good.
Yes.
They're
good.
massive.
They're good.
All low calorie too. No. Not.
So.
Okay. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Blind Squirrel Talk, famous in a small town. I'm Lulu.
I'm Kim.
I'm Evan.
And we will see y'all.
Bye.
Go to Doc's Coffee House.